What's up, Dolphin representatives? It's Dave Wave here to give you a preview of the matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. But before I do, I got breaking news that Tua has cleared concussion protocol by the NFL, and there's actually video footage of him practicing and warming up with the squad. Same thing with Teddy Bridgewater. He's also cleared, and there's footage of all three quarterbacks firing from their cannons in practice. However, Coach did make it known to the media that Skylar Thompson will be the starter with Teddy backing him up. And this is going to be a pivotal game in the Mike McDaniel years because it's going to give us the best sample size that we've seen so far of what Skylar Thompson can do. Even though he did play the whole game last week, he did play in the preseason and he looked sharp in the preseason. It's doubtful that, he got the same amount of snaps as Bridgewater last game. And you could tell that the game plan was pretty much Teddy specific. But Teddy went down and he was out with a concussion, so Sky had to do his thing under pressure. This game right here is going to be Thompson specific, and I'm sure Mike and Darrell Bevell installed his drivers into the scheme, so there's no excuses this game this week. I don't want to hear nothing from Facebook. I don't want to hear no excuses if he plays sloppy and we don't win this game. Now, me being an optimistic Dolphin fan that I am, I don't care what quarterback we got in there. I'm rolling with him. He got my full support. So, Skylar, I'm pretty sure you're going to ball. You're going to have a good game, and you got nothing but my support. And I'm pretty sure you got the backing of the rest of the fans. We know that you ain't, you're young and you haven't been in the league that long, but we saw that you look like you got the skill set to be able to make things happen in this offense. So go out there and show up, man. And we take on the Vikings at home at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can watch the game on Fox Sports, and NFL Plus. Let's talk about the injury report. Looks like Armstead is going to be out. Coach has been having to try to find the right combinations on the line. We've elevated offensive lineman Brandon Shell and also tackle Keon Smith. That's how injured we are. I mean, we got injuries pretty much all throughout the roster. I mean, at every position we're hurt somewhere. Tyreek was in a walking boot for a while because he got injured from the Jets game, but he should be good to go. He's practiced this week. And you look at Minnesota, they're 4-1 this season, leading the NFC North after 5 games, and we're 3-2 in third place in our division. We was in first place. It seemed like it was all good just a week ago, just like the song by Jay-Z, but injuries have happened with Tua. He's had bad luck, not only in college, but also in the NFL. And when he's in, we look like the best team in the league, and we look like we could beat any team. But when he's out, we've struggled, man, and it's been apparent that we need you, Uno. We need you back. We're starting to fall behind. I mean, we've got a lot of power still in the AFC conference because of our 2 divisional wins and a win against Baltimore, who leads the North. So we put a dent into their plans. But there's still a lot at stake as far as positioning, and we don't want to fall too far behind. That's why this game this Sunday is going to be important. Obviously, the Vikings, they're in the NFC, so a loss normally wouldn't be too bad because they're not in our conference. But still, man, because we're 3-2, a loss is going to make us an average team, middle of the pack, after showing so much promise. So we got to take this serious, man. I mean, I heard that Tyreek even had them get rid of the ping pong table. Then he came back and said, that we getting a new one. But look, get rid of all distractions. Get rid of the ping pong table. You know what I'm saying? Stop scrolling on your phone. Tell them hoes they gotta wait, man. We gotta win this game. Don't go to G5. Don't go to South Beach. We need y'all focused this week, man. Real talk. The last 2 times we played them, it was week 14, December 21st, 2014. Joe Philbin was our coach on this game. And we actually pulled this out. We won this game 37-35. It was a tough fought battle. Stephen Ross, he was happy after this win, and he liked how we finished in the direction of the team at the time. The fans, including myself, 2013, we did have injuries and there was some problems, but offensively, I like Philbin's play calling. Just in certain games, Tannehill wasn't able to execute. And I feel like a lot of fans kind of soured on Philbin around this time. And then you had some that was also optimistic about the team because of the weapons that we had on offense. And, but this win right here gave us a lot of optimism that maybe if we just get a few things fixed, we'll be able to be a good team in 2015. So, Stephen Ross felt the same way, and he re-upped Joe Philbin's contract. Even though we missed the playoffs for the 6th straight year in a row, he still announced that Joe Philbin was going to return for a 4th season as a coach. Looking back, he probably shouldn't have re-upped his contract, and we probably should have went and got another coach besides Philbin. But in this game, it was a slugfest. Rookie Terrence Fadday. I don't know if y'all remember Terrence Fadday, who I thought was going to be able to get some more reps in our defense. He didn't, but we mostly used him on special teams. He actually came up big on this game, blocked a punt for a safety with 41 seconds left, and then Ryan Tannehill, threw 4 touchdown passes this game, which was the most by a quarterback since Dan Marino did it in 1998 at the time of this game. And we outscored the Vikings 23-18 in the 4th quarter, which it was a good comeback. Tannehill went 35 for 47, 396 yards, and directed an offense that totaled 36 first downs and 493 yards. He shook off a costly interception that he threw early in the game, and he also took 2 sacks and was knocked down at least 8 other times. So Tannehill was able to find a way to overcome the bad offensive line play that we had. And I know a lot of fans on Facebook, it seemed like every single loss, they always blame the offensive line. You can't blame the offensive line for every single time that the quarterback gets sacked or if the running game is not working. Sometimes it's a bad play call against their defense that they ran against what we're running, or it could have possibly been that the running back might have took the wrong hole. There's times where some of the running backs we had, I felt like they didn't have good vision. Jordan Howard didn't have good vision. That's why he's been bouncing all over the league. Kalen Ballage has vision. He has better vision than Jordan Howard, but he still didn't have enough vision to really be counted on. I would still take a chance on Kalen Ballage. I know y'all probably don't think so, but for a power back in this offense to go along with our current running backs, I think he'll be a good fit. But coincidentally, Teddy Bridgewater played for the Vikings this game, and he almost beat us this game. Mike Wallace caught a touchdown. He caught passes, a touchdown pass, 1 for 16 yards, 1 for 7 yards, and he had 10 scores this year. He had a pretty good season this year. Bridgewater, he went 19 for 25, 259 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, he played pretty good, but it's just we played better and we wanted the game a lot more. Couple fun facts about this game. Jarvis Landry broke Terry Kirby's team record for receptions by a rookie with 79. And the Vikings, they haven't won a game in Miami since 1976. We got to keep that streak going and make sure that remains this week. The second time we played them was week 15 in 2018. We played them in December on the 16th. We lost that game 17-41. That was a blowout. Kirk Cousins went 14 for 21, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Dalvin Cook is what hurt us. And he rushed for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns on 19 carries. And they also had Latavius Murray, who rushed for 68 yards and a touchdown on 15 carries. And Stephon Diggs and Aldrick Robinson also caught touchdowns. They just destroyed us this game. And this game probably is what led to Gase getting fired, also. Ryan Tannehill, he went 11 for 24, 108 yards, Kalen Ballage rushed for 123 yards and a touchdown on 12 carries, but a lot of those yards came off of that one run that he bust for 70 plus yards. After this Minnesota game, we was talking like Kalen Ballage should have been a starter like the next week, and the rest of the year. Because when he broke that run, I was like, that's what we was waiting on. I was like, okay. But he didn't continue that. He didn't run like that no time ever since then. But back to our matchup. This should be a desperation game, in my opinion, because if we lose, like I said, we drop to 500, we'll be 3-3. We won't be out of playoff position because, like I said, it's a non-conference loss, but it'll mean that it's trouble, and we'll all be begging for Tua to come back ASAP, ASAP. The Pittsburgh game is what's circled for him to return, and what's crazy about that is that's the Brian Flores game, because Brian Flores coached their defense, so it's crazy how that's the game that he's actually gonna come back for. And man, I don't know if I want him to come back for that game, because I don't know how Flores, Flores gonna have some tricks up his sleeve. So man, and if we lose that game, it's not gonna look too good for Mike McDaniel. The aftermath of that, there'll be some questions. Trust me, I'll have some. The fans will have some. The front office might even have some. Y'all stay tuned for that. But here's my keys to victory for this game. My keys to victory on offense. I watched the tape of all 5 games that the Minnesota Vikings played. The game against the Packers, the game against the Lions, all of them. And there's certain tendencies I noticed that the Vikings have on offense and defense, and I think we can exploit these things and take advantage. And I think if we do these things, it'll help us win the game. On offense, throw to the flats. Their linebackers are really not good at covering the running backs and the fullbacks out of the backfield. Average short area quickness, so try to run toss plays this game also, and throw to Chase Edmonds out of shotgun in space so that he can get yards after catch and sip yet. Same with Alec Ingold. Try to throw accurate short passes to him in space so he can make moves. I feel like we don't need to play the long game against them with Skylar Thompson. It'll be just fine, trust me, if we play the short to intermediate game, because the Vikings play zone and those things are going to be open. The curl routes to Cedric Wilson or to Mike Gesicki or Durham Smythe in the middle is going to be open in their zone. They're weak against the run and they don't tackle well. I noticed that against the Packers game. I would also say run deep comebacks early in the game to Waddle and Hill to set them up for the bomb down the field. They're susceptible to that. You got to be accurate though, because like I said, they are going to be sitting in zone sometimes. So that's why I say maybe not deep curls. I would say deep curls, but also 10-yard, 15-yard curls as well. Or outs maybe. We could maybe set them up for the out and up later on. And I would say also block Zadarius Smith. He's a key cog at a defense. He makes plays in a defense, so we definitely got to block him, not only in the run game, but also in the passing game. I noticed that they don't really blitz a lot. They definitely don't blitz nowhere near as much as we do. They usually try to get their pass rush from their front four, which is pretty good. We banged up on our bookends at tackle. We got to make sure and protect well, or otherwise Skylar's, he's going to have a tough day, because and the tackles is what I'm worried about the most. I'm not worried too much about the pressure up the middle, because from what I've seen, they don't really pressure a lot up the middle based on the teams that they played. Keys to victory on defense. Send pressure up the middle and blitz a lot with Kirk Cousins. There's certain quarterbacks that'll hurt you if you blitz them. Kirk Cousins is not one of them. He can hurt you if we're blitzing off the edge. I can't say his step up in the pocket game is really that great. It's just the type of plays that they run. They run a lot of 4-wide sets, 3-wide sets, and they have things built in to kind of help him with the blitz. But I notice when teams blitz him off the edge, that's when they get hurt. But if we blitz him up the middle, I think he'll have trouble, and he's real inaccurate when you blitz him up the middle, and he will throw interceptions. Watch Thielen and Jefferson on the skinny post plays. If we play that well, I think there'll be interceptions there on those skinny post plays. I also noticed that they run a lot of pick plays to get routes open underneath. So our linebackers, Duke Riley is we're gonna need Duke Riley this game to play well in coverage. Hopefully they don't beat Landon Roberts in coverage. He would probably be the weakness out of the linebackers that we have that'll drop back. In the red zone, watch the dig routes to the back of the end zone. They like to run that as well. You have a lot of teams in the end zone. They run trick plays. They run slants. They even run the football. The Vikings, they pass. They pass in the red zone. And I noticed, like I said, Cousins don't really throw to his backside of the backfield a lot. So I would have our linebackers watch the interior for drag routes to their receivers. That's all I got for the keys to victory. Let's look at the last time that Shula coached against them. Well, I ain't gonna say the last time, but this is the time when he did coach against them. And I'm gonna look at the 1994 game that we played against them. Both teams were 3-1. It was Dan Marino versus Warren Moon, and Dan went 29 for 54, 431 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He threw the ball way too much this game. Bernie Parmalee had only 6 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown. Keith Byers and Terry Kirby did nothing at all on the ground. And Kirby had the most carries, but he couldn't get a lot going this game. Wide receivers, Irvin Fryer and Mark Ingram, they played pretty good, especially Irvin Fryer. He had 6 wrecks for 160 yards. Fullback Keith Byers led the team in receptions with 10 wrecks for 79 yards, and tight end Keith Jackson had 3 wrecks for 62 yards and a touchdown. OJ McDuffie had 2 wrecks for 38 yards and a touchdown. Ingram had 3 for 36, and then tight end Greg Beatty had 1 catch for a touchdown. When you look at the Viking stats, Warren Moon went 26 for 37, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, no INTs, and running back Terry Allen had 15 carries for 113 yards and a touchdown. Wide receiver Jake Reed hurt us with 9 wrecks for 127 yards. And we just gave Warren just way too much time this game. Like, he did get sacked twice, but we got no quarterback hits on him. Brian Cox, he led all tacklers this game. And as you can see in the stats, the difference is they was able to run the ball and be balanced with the passing and running attack. We was only able to pass the ball. And if you pass more than 50-something times with Marino, at some point, it's going to be a boom or bust. Like, he got 3 touchdowns, but he also got 3 picks, and that's not what you want. The most picks you wanted from Marino was 2 at the most. 2 at the most. If he get more than 2, you're going to lose that game pretty much. But that's all I got. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Join the network. Join the family. Till next time, signing off, TBFN. Fins up.